Purple Valkyrie, what is on my screen? What is this about?
Yes, this is another fascinating article that we have stumbled across from Ancient Origins, and this is something that I did not know exist, even though I've actually been to York quite a few times. Apparently, the Lloyds Bank Coprolite, otherwise known as the Viking Poop, is very, very important.
So this really is poop from a Viking.
Fossilized
Wow.
poop from a Viking, yes.
Wow. Tell me where York is in England.
So York is up towards the north of England. York is a fantastic place to visit. It is a very beautiful city. There's an amazing cathedral, and there is a lot of Viking influence there because York was sacked quite a few times when the Vikings were raiding. And they had quite an impact on not only the city but the surrounding area as well.
So I was reading through this article, and it is the largest piece of fossilized human poop ever known to man. And it says, believe it or not, the York Viking poop fossil has told us more about York than any other artifact out there.
I just think whoever was having trouble at that particular time could have done with having a little bit more of a regular diet.
Okay, so it says the so-called coprolite was discovered back in 1972 with the planned opening of a new branch on Pavement Street. As work began on the new bank's branch's foundation, the workmen began finding all kinds of Viking artifacts. Work then ground to a halt as a team of archaeologists was brought in to sift through the muck.
Yes, and I'm guessing that they were thinking they were going to find pottery or coins or maybe even remains of people who had lived there, but I'm guessing they definitely were not imagining that they would find a fossilized piece of poop which was 20 centimeters or 8 inches long and 5 centimeters or 2 inches wide. They ate a lot of meat back in the day.
Well, it says the massive coprolite is believed to be the largest example of fossilized human poop. It has a scientific name called Paleofeces ever found.
That would be an amazing band name.
So for those of you at home, 8 inches would be, where is it? 8 inches would be this size by 2 inches, because we want to maintain our scientific accuracy here.
Absolutely.
So, yes. There we go. Dates back to the 9th century AD, and it makes it a very remarkably long-lived piece of, say it with me, Viking poop.
I bet that brought a tear to his eye.
Oh, wow.
The question is, was it fossilized when he had to go, or did it happen over time?
So, Purple, I didn't know this. Apparently, York sits on a layer of ancient trash that is roughly 10 feet deep. Is this true?
Yes, like a lot of very old cities, York, such as London and Edinburgh, what they are actually built on is layers of themselves and layers of rubbish as the cities grow and expand and various buildings are built on top of each other. And a lot of that is biological matter, it's wood, it's bone, it's cloth, and unfortunately it is also human waste.
Viking poop. So normally this matter breaks down and rots away fairly quickly because it is organic. However, York's soil is much more waterlogged and oxygen-free than other sites. This has left some of this centuries-old waste, like the Viking poop, remarkably intact.
It's crazy, isn't it? And just York used to be kind of a swamp like area, so I'm not surprised it's more oxygen free than a lot of places.
So what makes the Lloyds Bank Coprolite so special? Well, it is a poop fossil that is an individual solid piece. Poop is normally found as one large mass, for example, at the bottom of communal latrines. Poop piles, can't believe we're doing this. Poop piles are not so useful to paleoscatologists. Let me say that again. paleoscatologist. I can't say this word. Anyway, they're poop historians because they can make only general. It's hard enough to say.
Can you imagine putting that on your CV?
Yes, I'm a paleoscatologist. I'm a poop historian. Anyway, because the poop piles are a problem for them. Poop piles are a problem for them because they can only make generalized assumptions about who the group of poopers was.
So, from this particular piece of Viking poop dating back to the 9th century AD, we can glean a significant amount of information about the day-to-day life of your average berserking Viking living in York, as well as the specific Viking who made the fossil poop.
Wow.
We know that their diet wasn't the most nutritious, and looking at the fossil, I could have probably told you that. But from analysis of the Coprolite, we also know that our Viking lived mainly on meat, grains, and very little in the way of fruit and vegetables.
Yeah, and while this isn't necessarily true of everyone who lived there at the time, a large number of fruit pits and vegetable seeds were also found at the site. It just seems like our berserker buddy, the big pooper, had no interest in fruits and vegetables. I'm not really shocked by that.
He was on a paleo diet at the time. It was a keto, yes.
Furthermore, poop historians tell us that given the heft, size, and weight of the Viking poop, that the Viking was severely constipated. Combine this...
It's such a brought a tear to his eye.
Oh, combine this with the poop's lack of pits and seeds, and it becomes clear that our Viking probably wasn't the healthiest person in the village. You don't say. He wasn't working out and doing yoga.
It gets worse for our poor Viking pooper because a large number of moorworm and whipworm eggs were also found. So this guy wasn't in the best of health, it seems. He had gut parasites.
That gives these poop historians an insight into Viking living standards. Now, they say that Vikings were filthy, and it's no surprise that gut parasites were a serious issue. It's already known that hygiene wasn't exactly a priority for our Viking friends, and the presence of these parasites helps to confirm that.
Yes, and if you think of their kind of day-to-day life, it's not really that surprising that they probably weren't eating the best food, especially if they were traveling for long periods of time across oceans. You would just eat whatever you had to hand, and if the meat got a little bit rotten, a little bit maggoty, well, I guess that's just extra protein.
So if somebody wanted to go see this amazing Viking poop, they would need to go to, of course, York, England, and the Jorvik Viking Center there in York. They have a replica of a whole Viking village that you can take a tour of, and they even give your nose a treat to find out what Viking poop might have smelled like.
The mind
Wow.
boggles. And I've been, like I say, but I haven't been to that museum, so I think a excursion is in order.
You thought I was kidding when I said that you could actually smell what Viking poop would have smelled like. In 2001, the poop was chemically broken down and a fecal odogram was created. This Viking center worked out what the Lloyds Bank Coprolite smelled like when it was fresh out of the Viking. So if you visit the recreated Viking latrine at the museum, you can smell it for yourself.
I think in the interests of the show, I might have to go there and report back.
Ooh, better you than me, Purple Valkyrie. Better you than me.
Well, we're sending Zax to the Clown Motel, so we all have to take our hits.
And it was over 30 years ago, Dr. Andrew Jones had the Coprolite appraised for insurance purposes, and it was valued at $39,000 US, or at the time of this publication, 37,000 and change euros.
That's an expensive piece of poop.
Well, the problem is that the Viking Center disagreed with that assessment. They called it a rare artifact, and he told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "It's insulting, really. This is the most exciting piece of excrement I've ever seen, and in its own way, it's as irreplaceable has the crown jewels. Unquote.
I just had the most wonderful mental image of the artifact itself replacing the blue diamonds on the crown jewels.
So, no comment, but that would be interesting. You guys think I'm trouble? It's Purple Valkyries. She's the trouble one. I'm pure and
I'm
sweet.
so proud of being English right now. I can't even tell you.
Well, here we are, and the article ends by saying that somewhere up in Valhalla, there is a Viking who is immensely proud of his or her gigantic poop, and the fact that here we are, almost 1,000 years later, and people are still checking it out. This is one of those rare articles that you just stumble across and you have to run with. Thank you for finding this. I can't wait for you to go smell what this Viking poop smells like and report back.
You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my picture with it and we're going to report back. But I thank the gods for this article and thank the city of York for preserving this piece of poop.
You heard it here first. Purple Valkyrie is going to get her hands on a 900-year-old piece of Viking poop and get back to us in a future episode. Purple Valkyrie, thank you, I think, for covering this really remarkable article on 1,000-year-old Viking excrement. I can't wait until the next phenomenal. You guys, everybody, take care.
Take care, everybody. Keep regular.